Between the late 1990s and the early 2010s, several towns in England, including Rotherham, Rochdale, and Oxford, saw cases where groups of men were convicted of sexually abusing young girls. A 2014 report found that at least 1,400 children in Rotherham alone had been subjected to sexual exploitation between 1997 and 2013. I'm Ruby Barlow, and you're watching NewsX World. These so-called grooming gangs has been a controversial subject in the United Kingdom, some calling it a racist and Islamophobic propaganda campaign, others calling it a systematic neglect of girls. Evidence on the ethnicity of the grooming gang members is complex and incomplete. The most high-profile cases involve perpetrators who were predominantly British Pakistani, of Pakistani heritage, or of South Asian heritage. However, a 2020 Home Office commissioned study found that research on group-based child sexual exploitation offenders most commonly identifies them as white. The same study noted that some research suggests an overrepresentation of Black and Asian offenders relatively to the national demographics, but it concluded that no single community or culture is uniquely predisposed to offending. A 2015 study of 1,231 perpetrators found 42% were white, 14% Asian or Asian British, and 17% Black. Crucially, the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse in 2022 found the police had widely failed to record the ethnicity of perpetrators, making it impossible to know definitively whether any ethnic group is overrepresented. The available data is also limited by being nearly a decade old, drawn from only a fraction of the police forces, and relying on broad police classifications rather than self-reported identity. Now, Keir Starmer was head of the Crown Prosecution Service from 2008 to 2013. The CPS is the independent body that decides whether to prosecute cases. During this period, the CPS faced criticism for a decision not to proceed with a prosecution in Rochdale between 2008 and 2009, on the basis that the main victim was viewed as unreliable. That decision was later overturned in 2011 by Nazir Afzal, who Starmer had appointed as a chief prosecutor. Afzal explained that the original view had been that if police were not confident that the victim would give credible evidence, prosecutors would not proceed. He reversed the decision because he believed the victim. Official reports have not found any direct criticism of Starmer personally, nor any suggestion that he personally made decisions not to prosecute. A 2013 Parliament report stated that Starmer had striven to improve the treatment of sexual assault victims throughout his term. In response to accusations that he avoided and delayed prosecutions, Starmer has defended his record and accused critics of spreading misinformation. He says he tackled prosecutions head-on as head of the CPS. He says he changed the prosecution approach to challenge myths and stereotypes that had previously prevented victims from being heard. Before these changes, a victim might not have been believed if they had not complained immediately, had used drugs or alcohol, or had dressed in a particular way. Starmer revised these official guidance in 2013 to make prosecutions easier. He's also stated that when he left office, the CPS had the highest number of child sex abuse prosecutions on record. Figures show that prosecutions rose nearly to 4,800 in 1 year during his tenure. Starmer created a national panel to revisit closed cases, which Nazir Afzal confirmed was a success, leading to dozens of cases being restarted. Starmer also notes that he brought the first prosecution of an Asian grooming gang. There is no single data set for grooming gang prosecutions because no specific offence exists. However, a 2022 report lists significant prosecutions between 2010 and 2014. While Starmer was Director of Public Prosecutions, there were 35 convictions, including 5 men in Rotherham, 9 in Rochdale and Oldham, and 7 in Oxford. In summary, the CPS did fail in specific instances and systematic problems existed, but official problems have not identified Keir Starmer personally as having made decisions not to prosecute. The allegation that he was personally complicit is not supported by the official record. His leadership still remains under question, though, right now in the United Kingdom, with attacks against his leadership across the political spectrum and from within his own political party. We bring you the latest developments here on NewsX World.